encouraging meaningful conversations between stakeholders, and building strong community networks within a globally connected environment is an ongoing challenge for municipal governments. Alberta Municipal Affairs recognizes that relationships among people are a critical element of municipal business, but developing these relationships in today's fast-paced, uber-connected world is becoming increasingly complex. I'm Krista Kagume, and I'd like to present Conventional Hierarchies versus Peer Production, Two Approaches to Social Network Organization. Understanding how social networks organize allows us to interpret and describe the relationships that form the basic building blocks of an engaged, connected community. This video examines the conventional hierarchal approach to social organization as described by Charles Kadushin in his book, Understanding Social Networks, Theories, Concepts, and Findings, and the peer production approach that has emerged with the advent of the Internet and through the research of Yochai Benkler and the works of Clay Shirky. The tension between these approaches and the challenges faced in today's shifting political landscape will be explored. In the past, social organization was limited by time and space. Early communication followed trade routes. One social network was confined to immediate circles, and communicating messages over any distance was time-consuming and costly. The invention of the telegraph, and more importantly the telephone, allowed individuals to communicate immediately with more people and across greater distances. As society became more complex, bureaucratic hierarchies emerged, and social organization became a top-down enterprise delegated to experts. Kadushin describes these traditional organization structures as hierarchies that face four main challenges: motivation, deciding what needs to get done, accomplishing the tasks, and acquiring the needed resources. To overcome these challenges, formal organizations utilize centralized decision-making and rely on a formal chain of command system to ensure work is accomplished efficiently and within budget. People are held accountable, and money is a key motivator. Organizations retain exclusive property rights. The workload is handed down from the top, and a chain of authority or command forces people to perform or network. Kadushin argues that these networks help raise capital to provide the organization with resources. He points out that conventional organizations often find themselves in a double bind because management sends the message to innovate while at the same time retains its right to veto new ideas. This results either in the new networks forcing top managers to leave or, more often, nothing happening at all. He argues that formal structures in complex bureaucratic organizations are inherently limiting and stifle entrepreneurial initiative. Conventional hierarchies are increasingly under pressure to resolve this double bind. In his book, Accelerating Democracy, Transforming Government Through Technology, John McGinnis writes, "Today, technology increasingly permits information to bubble up from below and filter through more dispersed and competitive sources." Coleman and Goetz assert that there is a growing recognition on the part of many within the developed democracies that new relationships between citizens and institutions of governance must emerge if a crisis of democratic legitimacy and accountability is to be averted. They argue that two separate but related developments are influencing the strength of democracy: a more active citizenry that is dissatisfied with conventional methods and the capacity of citizens to use social media. Indeed, the Internet has collapsed time and space, made instantaneous global communication possible, and enabled new online environments where low production costs allow informal collaboration and peer production to thrive. Benkler, Shaw, and Mako Hill describe peer production as a form of open creation and sharing performed by groups online. In contrast to formal organizational structure, peer production uses decentralized goal setting and task execution, diverse and often non-monetary motivations, and governance by open commons or common property regimes. In other words, peer production follows a less formal structure where the hierarchy is removed, pay is likely not the main motivating factor, and the product remains in the hands of many. Clay Shirky, author of Here Comes Everybody, further explains that in the past, institutions were created to bring people together to contribute to a body of work. Today, online environments facilitate small world connections and make it possible for people to collaborate wherever they are. He uses the example of tagging photos with keywords on Flickr, which allows specialized groups to find each other online and then collaborate. Another well-known example of peer production is Wikipedia, a multilingual, free internet encyclopedia that anyone can edit. Wikipedia started in 2001 and now contains over 4.47 million articles, all created by volunteers. Peer production does present some challenges. Kadushin points out that online groups lack accountability, and Wikipedia creator Jimmy Wales has observed that a dedicated group of a few hundred volunteers make the bulk of contributions, so the Wikipedia project is therefore much like any traditional organization. Wales research found that over 50% of all the Wikipedia edits were done by just 0.7% of the users, at that time 524 people. Despite the challenges to online collaboration, Shirky points out that social tools remove obstacles to collective action: time, distance, and money. He says we are experiencing a time when people are willing and even eager to come together to affect the world. Recognizing that an active, engaged citizenry exists is the first step toward adapting to today's highly networked, globally connected world. Remaining flexible, encouraging open dialogue, and allowing for accurate, timely responses are some ways that government organizations may encourage meaningful dialogue, build connections, and harness the possibilities of peer production. This is Krista Kagume with Conventional Hierarchies versus Peer Production, Two Approaches to Social Network Organization. Thank you for watching.